With Donald Trump emerging as the presumptive Republican nominee, the talk now turns to how he can heal what has become a very fractured Republican Party. Bill O'Reilly had a few ideas with him last night. Give this a listen.
I believe before you get to Cleveland, you are going to try to consolidate the Republican establishment's support by doing the following: appointing Rudy Giuliani, the Homeland Security chief, appointing Governor Christie, the Attorney General, and Ben Carson in charge of Health and Human Services. I said, I think that Trump's going to do that. Would I be wrong?
Well, I have not made that decision, but certainly there would be three very wise choices. I think they'd be popular, but more importantly, I think they'd do a phenomenal job, all three of them. No, I haven't, thought about that, but I will tell you all three would be very good choices in very good positions.
But it's the timing of it.
I think it would be good.
So that from last night. Now this morning, the host of the O'Reilly Factor, author of the best-selling book Killing Reagan, with us. Bill, good morning to you, and thanks.
Hey, Hammer.
Thanks for doing this. What do you think you learned last night from him?
Well, I mean, I can't really say what I learned because I'm not really studying the Trump campaign or the Clinton campaign. I'm trying to basically analyze what is likely to happen apart from what they do. It doesn't really concern me what they do. I'm trying to give the audience, my audience, and the Fox News audience, an idea of what's likely to happen. So Trump's got to convince the establishment Republicans that he's not some outlier who's out of his mind. And the only way, and I mean the only way, for him to do that is to line up a cabinet before the convention to say, look, I'm going to come in, but these are my guys. And the guys have to be acceptable to the Republican establishment. So it just makes sense that he would do that. And so that's why I put it out for him. And you saw that, he didn't say, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. But, yeah. He hedged his bets because I don't think he has decided. But after I told him that's what he should do, he might do it. I don't know.
He may. I think one of the bigger stories in the past 18 hours is who in the Republican Party will support him and who will not. Ari Fleischer sent out this tweet: there's a lot about Donald Trump that I don't like, but I'll vote for Trump over Hillary any day. And everyone is getting this question, Bill, including the former presidents, Bush 41 and Bush 43. They're both saying in a statement that they're going to sit this one out. Now, yeah. he was asked about this morning in an interview, and Trump said basically he won without their support, suggesting that perhaps he doesn't need anyone who won't get behind him in the Republican Party. And then he was asked whether or not he will tack to the right, and his answer was pretty simple, one word: no. Do you see that evolving? Do you see that changing? Do you see a point where Donald Trump's going to fly down to Dallas and meet with Bush 41 and Bush 43 and try this unity pact, or is he truly a different political character?
Well, I think that Trump doesn't really care much about party politics. I would be shocked if he went to Texas and tried to woo the Bushes, because the way Trump treated Jeb Bush, I mean, now is bad blood, and that's not going to end. All right. So, and Trump himself says, look, if I'm going to win this election, I'm not going to win it on party politics. I'm going to win it by going to the folks themselves, just as he won the primaries. So that's how he's going to stay in that arena, that he's going to bring his message directly to the people. He doesn't need the party apparatus. So there's two types of Republicans. There's the Republicans who want to operate within the party, and I think they're not going to say, well, I'm not going to vote for the nominee. So they'll all say, Ari Fleischer and all these guys, well, I'm going to vote for the nominee because I don't like Hillary Clinton. And then there are the Republicans who are outside the party, don't need the party anymore, like the Bushes, the former presidents, John McCain, Mitt Romney, who are not going to vote for Trump. Probably sit it out. Remember, Ronald Reagan in 1976, after Ford beat him in the primaries, did not vote for Ford. And I know you know that, Hammer, because you read Killing Reagan. Yeah. And neither did Nancy Reagan. Yeah. They voted but they wouldn't vote for Ford. And so sometimes this bad blood runs very deep in the primary system.
No
and I
question,
think this
yes.
year is one of those times.
That's a good reflection on history. Hillary Clinton's got a lot of money. Her bank is loaded. I don't know how he makes up for that, or if indeed he does.
Who, Trump?
Yeah, you know.
No, Trump
at what point he catches her or not? Yeah,
No,
what do you need,
it's
$1
not a money
billion?
play. No, the folks will give Trump money. His supporters are fanatical. Donald Trump supports the people who like him. I mean, these people will fund him. He's not going to have any money problems. He'll raise enough money to do whatever he wants to do. And Hillary Clinton, as you rightly pointed out, there's not a money problem here, a money deficit. They'll both be able to do what they want to do.
One more thing here. He was asked about a VP pick, and I know that's the hot speculation of the day. I don't know when this comes out. Everybody's got their own theory. He said the possibility of him choosing a former competitor during the primary season is 40%. Now, to me, that means you've got a list of 5, and maybe 2 of the 5 are on that list. Maybe you've got a list of 10, and perhaps 4 of the 10 on there. I mean, it's simple math. Do you have a sense of where he is going, or what his intention might be, when you consider that he has said in the past that he wants someone who knows Congress? Perhaps they go back 25 years, but who can interface on legislation that needs to get done. Where are you on that?
I think Trump's first choice would be John Kasich. Trump himself would like Kasich on the second. But whether Kasich will do it, that is hard to ascertain. Very, very hard. Yeah. Second, I think Trump, if he can't get Kasich, might go to Rubio. And Rubio has been friendlier to Trump lately. And Rubio's leaving the Senate, so he needs a job. So those are the 2 guys that I think have a legitimate shot. The rest of it is murky because there are a lot of people who don't want to run with Trump. They don't want to be on a ticket. And he can't embarrass himself by saying, well, I want this person. And the person goes, no, I don't want to do it. So it's all behind the scenes. But for the Electoral College map, he's got to win both Ohio and Florida, has to. Likely to win in Florida, but not a lock. Last poll had him behind. And one more thing, by the way, I think that Hillary Clinton's VP selection is going to be Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio.
Could be.
That's who I think she's going with, because he's really, really left. That placates the Bernie Sanders wing, gives her Ohio, not as a lock, but certainly makes her more competitive there. And, you know, Sherrod Brown is not going to upstage Hillary Clinton. Yeah. So that's where I see
that's
her going.
interesting. You know, she was in his former district just 2 days ago, and that's when that whole coal mining thing
they went to the
too.
diner together or whatever they did.
Thanks, Bill, for doing this today.
Mark my words, Henry.
Okay, right on. You're on record. We'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock. Okay. Thank you, Bill. Also tonight, Donald Trump sits down with Bret Baier. You can see that at 6 o'clock on Special Report. All right here on the Fox News Channel.
Put you on there. All right, California becoming a new battleground for organized labor, with new legislation on the table that would force public unions to report their itemized budgets, just like charities and politicians. Novel idea, right? William Lajeunesse reporting live on this from Los Angeles. Hello, William.
Martha, you're going to love how this started. When a really cheap state employee, a miser, saw a crossing guard on an empty street that already had a tunnel underneath it. She goes, this is wasteful. Turns out it was a make-work job given to her union, the SEIU, which represents state workers. That began this 5-year battle by Miriam Nugent to know one thing. How does the SEIU spend her union dues, which it refused to disclose? So she sued to get a glimpse of its $60 million budget, which she and other union members claim millions in travel and other expenses are unaccounted for or unexplained.
I give you my money. You show me how to spend my money. I will know how much you care for me, how much solidarity, and how much you really work for us. And they don't want to show me how they spend my money. And this is my case. Show me the money.
Suing failed, so she convinced lawmakers to sponsor 2 bills. One required public employee unions to post itemized budgets online, not just a pie chart showing expenses and revenues, but details of how bosses wasted maybe members' dues on tickets, meals, limousines. A second bill required unions to hold an election every 2 years, replacing the cumbersome and rare process of decertification and revote. Almost 30 unions showed up to fight the bills.
We already comply with the law. We do what the law asks. We are totally open and transparent.
They're pro-union. These members want to belong to a union. They want to be represented by a union. They just want to know where their money's at.
But common sense doesn't always win in Sacramento, especially when you're taking on the big labor unions. Both bills went down, Martha, on a party line vote. Back to you.
That is quite a story. William, thank you very much.
Now to a dangerous new trend catching the